morning, everybody. Welcome to the kitchen. Today we're going to make Vermont Cheddar soup. So I have this Cabot seriously sharp cheddar cheese. We're going to grate that up. I need 10 ounces, so I have another block. Put it in the freezer about a half hour before you want to grate it, and that'll help make it much easier to grate. So the other one's in the freezer. And here are our ingredients, and we're going to start getting our mise en place together. We need olive oil, celery, carrot, butter, onion. We use all-purpose flour, chicken stock, I have chicken broth, 3 cups of milk, 1 cup of heavy cream, our 10 ounces of cheddar, some kosher salt, black pepper, and then, this is optional, the Worcester or the Tabasco. I love Worcester sauce in my cheddar soup. Now, just happen to have the Heinz version, but I prefer the Liam Perrins one. So I just sprinkle a little bit on the top of my cheddar soup before eating it. And the same for the Tabasco. So in case you don't have any Worcester sauce, you can dress it up with some Tabasco or omit both of them and just garnish it with a little parsley or some croutons, and it's absolutely delicious. So this is a wonderful, nice, warm, comforting, hearty soup to have in the winter. So let's get everything measured and I'll show you how to make it. All right, we've got our pot on the stove. We've got the 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I gotta turn this up onto sort of like medium high. Get this warmed up. When the butter's melted, we're gonna add in our onions and saute them until they're translucent. Butter. Woo! There we go. Now we're going to saute that until the onions are translucent. So I'm going to stir this with my wooden spoon and keep stirring it every so often. This might take a couple minutes, so we'll come back. All right, now our onions are beautifully translucent and a little golden, so let's add in our celery and our carrots. And we're going to cook them until they are nice and tender. Now we're going to puree this soup, so I'm not worrying too much about the thickness of the large size of the carrots or the celery. We're going to puree the whole thing, but we do want to cut them thin enough so that they do cook evenly. So you do want to cut thin slices, and we're going to keep stirring that. And it's going to take a couple minutes. All right, so now we're going to add in a 1/4 cup of flour, and this will be a thickening agent, but we need to cook it first. All right, so we're going to just sprinkle that over our vegetables and keep stirring it. And we're going to do this for about 2 minutes. We want to cook the flour, and then we're going to add in our 2 cups of chicken broth. So this is going to take a bit, so let me just keep stirring it. All right, so you can see that the flour has darkened and we've cooked off the raw flour. And now we can add in our chicken stock. Now we're going to continue to stir it with our wooden spoon. And that is going to thicken up. And then we're going to add in our 3 cups of milk. And then our 1 cup of heavy cream. And then we're going to use an immersion blender and puree all of this. All right, so you can see I've been cooking this and stirring it for about 2 minutes, and it's come to a boil. And you see how thick it is? All right, so the flour has thickened it. And once we add the milk, cream, and cheese, we really don't want to boil it. You just want to simmer it. So I'm going to turn the heat down, and I'm going to add in our 3 cups of milk. Pour that in and stir it together. And here is our cream. Get that in. And then we're going to use the immersion blender to puree it all. And let it heat up though. I'm going to wait till this comes to a boil on the edges and then we'll use the immersion blender. Okay, it came to a boil, and I've turned it down, and we're going to use our immersion blender and puree this. All right, so now we're going to add in our salt and pepper, and then we're going to gradually add in some of the cheddar cheese. And again, do this over low heat. You do not want it a rapid boil, or even as to come to boil now that you've got all the cream and you're adding in the cheese. So please keep this on a low heat and keep it at a simmer. And then gradually add in your cheese, stir, and once that is melted, you can add in the next batch. Here's our beautiful finished soup. Little bits, little flecks of the carrot in there. All the cheese is melted. I'm gonna ladle it into my bowl. And that just looks beautiful. So here's our finished soup. It is absolutely delicious. And we always want to serve something with a bit of a garnish. Now, of course, you could put some nice fresh parsley or cilantro in the center of it, a little sprig, but I had these hanging around in the cabinet. And I love these. I love to even just snack on them, so any excuse. So I'm just gonna put a couple of these in the center as our garnish. And I like Tabasco, so I'm gonna do a couple of shots of Tabasco on my cheddar cheese soup and enjoy it that way. Now I also like Worcester sauce or Worcestershire sauce. But I prefer the Leon Perrins, so I don't have that in the cabinet, and I will have to wait until I get that to enjoy it with this. But Tabasco is a great thing to add to it, and if you prefer, just leave it the way it is. The Vermont Sharp Cheddar Soup from 1957. So again, I always like to get the weight of my ingredients because I test the recipe first, and then a lot of times I make it again a much larger batch because I have quite a few high schoolers to feed. So I always get the weighted amount so I can multiply it and increase it. We had 2 tablespoons of salted butter, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 celery, which was, sorry, there's a mistake. That was only 4 ounces, 1 carrot, which was 4 ounces. It was 8 ounces for the onion. Let's correct that now. And 4 tablespoons all-purpose flour, 2 cups of chicken stock, 3 cups of milk, 1 cup of heavy cream, 10 ounces of Vermont Sharp Cheddar cheese, freshly grated, a 1/4 teaspoon kosher salt, an 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper, and then if you want, you can put the Tabasco or the Leon Perrins on top to adjust to your flavor. So I hope you are inspired to make this at home and will enjoy it. Take care, everybody. Bye. For more recipe demonstrations, please click like and subscribe to Chef Victoria Love's YouTube channel and have fun in the kitchen. Thank you.